With a quick flash, I was back home, in the heart of Gallifrey. My heart were pounding heavily as I charged towards the wounded president of the Time Lords, who was lying motionless on the ground. He needed to pay for what he did to me. They all deserve to be severely punished. To add a little bit of context to my situation, my name is the Master, and I am a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. I was recently betrayed by the High Council of Time Lords when I allowed them to rain hell on Earth, with our planet appearing in Earth's atmosphere. Our mighty president, Rassilon, prevented my conquest of the human race and reversed their master state back to their pathetic, normal human faces. However, me being the master I am, I decided to attack our president whilst he was being sent back into the most deadly war in the universe. Also, I thought. Here I am, surrounded by the countless lifeless bodies of the infamous Time Lords. My plan had been initiated correctly. I had successfully killed the President of Gallifrey. As I stood up, I quickly noticed that for the first time in my countless lives, I was free from the torment of the sound in my head. The sound of the drums. However, there were more important matters to attend to. Hundreds of elite guards swarmed the President's chamber and quickly surrounded me. Suddenly, I was imprisoned in a mobile prison vault, which was previously used to imprison Daleks in the Time War. Speaking of which, aren't we all meant to be dead? As I started to regain consciousness, I overheard one of the guards mention something about the Doctor. Gallifrey stands? So why does the Doctor think he destroyed Gallifrey? Haha, I have the truth of what really happened. Maybe I could exploit that. No, that would damage the timelines. Even I'm not that low. As I was questioning my home planet survival, Rassilon, who recently regenerated, walked into the room I was being held captive. Lord Master, shouted the old fool. He pointed to a glowing orb placed on the ground near my feet. So you are in a little bit of a predicament, I see, he said, as he laughed furiously. We owe you an apology, Master. I'm sorry, what? We have reviewed the rest of your timeline. You have a promising future, shouted the President as he stared deeply into my dying eyes. For you to continue your dreaded existence, you must smash the sphere of Omega. With the life force slowly deteriorating after a botched resurrection, this is what I needed to escape this horrible place. But there's got to be a catch. Rassilon continued to explain about my promising future and claimed that I was going to become an important part in a battle one day. Just to shut up the wretched fool, I smashed the sphere, and as it shattered, my body began to glow with mass amounts of regeneration energy. As this bright light penetrated my body, I noticed something rather interesting. My body hadn't changed. Quickly thinking on my feet, I redirected the remaining regeneration energy and blasted the power source to my prison and ran to the nearby door. As the door slammed shut, I realised where I was. I was in the old TARDIS workshop. This station hadn't been used since the war originally broke out. However, there was something hiding behind the rubble at the back. An old TARDIS. A very retro-styled one of that. As I entered the machine's doors, the console glowed with a crimson light. Touching the sparking lights spread around the room. I knew I needed to escape now, before the High Council found me again. As I rapidly pressed the various buttons on the console, I noticed something odd about it. It was missing the flight enhancer. Without it, the TARDIS had no safeguards for materialising, and before I knew it, I was flying towards a gigantic black hole. In order to save myself, I quickly fried the Zyton crystals, which allowed the TARDIS to land on a nearby ship. As I ran out of the smoke-filled console room, I was greeted by a woman called Delphine. Hello, she said, as she stared at the burning TARDIS behind me. She was apparently part of a local colony, who were journeying out to other galaxies to research other forms of life. As she showed me round the research station, a digital telegram appeared mentioning a planet I was very familiar with, Mondas. For those unfamiliar with the planet, let's just say it's the source of one of the most evil civilizations known to humanity. With Delphine and her fellow researchers worshipping me as a god, I saw this as the perfect opportunity. I could become their ruler. As they celebrated the rule of their god, I had an even better idea. One cannot simply rule. I wish to become something even greater. The mastermind behind a new creation. Something I wouldn't have to worry about being upset due to my cruelty. As the years passed by, the people of this feeble vessel got tired of my mind games and decided to turn against me. Never mind. I will find a new army. One that only lacks one function. Emotions. As my experiments progressed quickly, I noticed that we had a new arrival upstairs. Someone who I hadn't seen for a very long time. The Doctor. I see he has new friends. Wait, who is that woman? She seems familiar. No. It can't be.